Some sports talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now we're gonna have some developments in the heavyweight division, right? Cruiserweight slash heavyweight or heavyweight slash cruiserweight, right? Guys, pay attention to the things that are going to be happening soon, right? We have undisputed heavyweight champion Oleksandr Usyk, or Usyk. Oleksandr Usyk, the guy who's undisputed at cruiserweight and is about to make a move up to heavyweight soon. You know, so you're talking about, you got to watch out what the other heavyweight's going to do, because we're talking about an undisputed cruiserweight champion, undisputed, who has beaten everybody who is somebody in his weight division, and some other characters that are definitely, you know, some people who you need to know or have done some substantial things in boxing. Usyk is no joke. He's climbing up the pound-for-pound rankings and things like that. But the heavyweights, I'm telling you two things. One, hell no to Usyk versus Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz. I'll tell you why in a minute. And another thing is heavyweights are beginning to avoid Usyk. Okay? Now, one thing is hell no, right, to Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz versus Oleksandr Usyk. And the reason I'm saying that is because he's being mentioned as one of the opponents. You know, they're saying Alexander Povetkin or Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz. And similar to Andre Ward going up to light heavyweight and having to fight Kovalev, and then they would have had him fight Adonis Stevenson after that, right? Come up there and clean up the mess that was in another weight division before your time. Or Terrence Crawford having to come up to welterweight and clean up that mess that's there between Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, Porter, and Danny Garcia. That should be cleaned up. There should be one of them. If there was one guy there, then Terrence Crawford can move up from weight where he was undisputed, right? And then I only have to fight one guy. But no, the guy that comes up from a weight class has to come up and clean up the mess of the people that won't handle their business before he got there. So it's this. That's why I'm making this clear. So you'll see that there is some, you know, consistency there, right? Andre Ward was damn near undisputed at 168, and they sent him up to 175 to fight Kovalev, who they were saying was the baddest one. After he beat him, then go beat the other dude, Adonis Stevenson. No, Stevenson and Kovalev should have fought before his time. That's the reason why hell no to Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz versus Oleksandr Usyk. Me personally, I've been talking about Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz, who we even, you know, gave the name the Candyman to. Because people won't call him. And if they do, they know what time it is. And they don't have to call him 3 times. Just once. That'll be enough. And he'll get right back with you. There's other heavyweights that handle that business. The Jarrell Millers of the world, the Dillian Whites of the world. We know that with the champions, Wilder got it. But the other champions won't. Right? Kubrat Pulev is mandatory. Those kind of guys that are in that 5 or 6. Even Joseph Parker. Those top 5 or 6 heavyweights need to be fighting Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz first. Don't let some cruiserweight come up, right? Or no, don't say some. Excuse me for saying some cruiserweight. The cruiserweight come up and handle your business. That's why. Now, if Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz is fought by Dillian White or Jarrell Miller or Parker or those guys that are knocking at the door, right, for the championship belts, or even Fury, right? They fought him first, then Usyk, then I would have no problem. But that brings me to my next point. My next point is this guy, Usyk, is already starting to be avoided by the heavyweights. I'll give you an example. Rumor has it, and it's from somebody in his camp on the tweet, Jarrell Miller has already turned down that fight, right, with Usyk, and so has Joseph Parker. Now, those are 2 bad dudes in the heavyweight knocking on the door. Joseph Parker had a belt and challenged on the unification Anthony Joshua. Lost to Dillian White, close fights or whatever, but does he seem to want to take that risk with Usyk before the risk-reward type thing? Oh, let me not mess with Usyk. I can probably lose on points or something like that. That's probably what Joseph Parker's thinking. Y'all know I roll with Joe. Jarrell Miller, 300 pounds. Ain't really trying to take this fight because I might be in line for Joshua coming in a minute here. Now, those are 2 bad dudes. Now, another one that we consider to be bad, Dillian White. Dillian White is stating right now, shoot, nobody knows Usyk. Nobody knows Usyk. So why should he? So what nobody? So outside of England, his must be his nobody or the block he lives on. Because if there's anybody that'll say that they're boxing fans, don't try to act like you don't know the baddest cruiserweight in the business. Undisputed. And here's the thing. If boxing fans don't know that, then it's time to educate them. There's only one guy that has all the belts in his division, in all of boxing. So damn it, get to know him. That would be a problem. And if you're saying England don't know him, then they should, because he beat up Joe Joyce over there, right? Before, and he just got through beating up Tony Bellew over there in a high-profile fight. Let's not even get it twisted. They know damn well who this is. And he signed Eddie Hearn in the matchroom. So Eddie Hearn would make sure they know who the hell Oleksandr Usyk is. This is not any cruiserweight coming up or some cruiserweight or one of the best. No, this is the best, the man. Matter of fact, the man in boxing right now. Should be. So that's who that is. So if they don't know him, Dillian Whyte mentioned everybody, but he ain't mentioned him. Right? You know, he's not mentioning Ortiz either, by the way. But we know that. That's why no, we're not going to let these guys cancel each other out before fighting the heavyweights. Just like they're doing in the middleweight division, guys. So consistency, right? You guys know I'm not trying to see no Canelo versus Gennady Golovkin 3 when you got Jacobs, Charlo, Andrade, Billy Joe Saunders, and the dude Derenchenko who just barely got beat by Jacobs. There's guys to fight that have mandatory positions, and you should be trying to get at them in the middleweight division instead of touting these two as better, and they haven't proven it. Neither Golovkin nor Canelo. We don't want to see that 3, another trilogy, until you guys earn a trilogy. Beat some dudes of substance and then meet again. Don't just say, well, they're better because we like them. No, that's consistency. Now, Oleksandr Usyk, same situation. They're trying to ignore him and continue to fight amongst themselves. So I'm glad people are telling on him, right? Dillian Whyte told on himself. Everybody, you can't say anywhere that they don't know Usyk. He doesn't fight at home. So they should know him in everybody else's backyard who went to beat you up in. He beat up Michael Hunter, people are trying to act like they don't know him. Michael Hunter just beat 2 big heavyweights, right? He beat Bacoli. Martin Bacoli was about to be hyped. He was already hyped in the UK already because he sparred Joshua. He's 6'6", big dude, right? African dude from Congo. Bad boy, was undefeated. Michael Hunter wouldn't handle him, right? Then he topped that off with Usyk, right? Big old 300-pound behemoth coming up for the cruiserweight. So Michael Hunter is making noise in the heavyweight division. Usyk beat him. Joe Joyce making noise in the heavyweight division. Usyk beat him. Then he beats all, and not at their home. Not at home, right? Away. So in England, he's supposed to know him. In America, he's supposed to know him. Latvia, he went over there and beat Morris Bride. He's supposed to know him. Been in Berlin to beat Marco Huck. Germany's supposed to know him. Been to Russia, right? Been to Russia and beat Garcia. So they supposed to know him. And the Ukraine, we ain't got to say nothing but one thing about the Ukraine. And it's plain. Ukraine bring the pain, baby. That's what the bottom line is. That's the man being ignored. You see, Dillian Whyte, what is he saying? Nobody knows him. Can't be true. And if it is true, it shouldn't be. Shouldn't be. Just for the simple fact I'm the baddest guy in the cruiserweight division means he's supposed to carry clout. I'm undisputed, which nobody else even trying to do in boxing. I'm the baddest dude. So if a heavyweight, whoever the heavyweight fight him, know they got problems on their hands, even though they're going to probably be a little bit bigger than the guy. They know they got problems on their hands. That's why we're going to start getting this stuff. Right? So that's what Dillian Whyte says. Jarrell Miller and Joseph Parker has seemed to ignore. Right? Said they don't want to fight for some reason. You know why? Because they're going to try to get some kind of title fight or something else without having to deal with this guy. Now, this guy is similar to Andre Ward in another aspect. Right? This is what's funny about these heavyweights. That's why we're going to keep our eye on this. It's not somebody, it's not David Haye. Right? Coming up with that punching power, that super precision, but not throwing many punches, but David Haye don't waste punches and got big old people stumbling and you got to worry about maybe getting knocked out. No, this is a guy, well, you still got to worry about getting knocked out, but it's from him just being technical and better than you. But it's not all about punching power. So these big behemoths of heavyweights have a problem with a guy, man, this guy's so technical, we might look stupid. So I just named about 3 or 4 heavyweights They ain't trying to deal with it, right? So keep your eye out of your boy, Oleksandr Usyk, being ignored, being avoided in the heavyweight division. They're trying to do it silently. And another thing, make sure you say this to everybody. We don't want to see Usyk versus Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz until someone else who's been there already, who thinks they're entitled for a title fight, trying to ignore him, right? Till they fight Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz. After that, then they can fight whoever they want. But right now, no, we don't want to see somebody else come up and clean up the mess for the heavyweights that they have. The baddest heavyweights are not trying to step to this guy. And the only argument they have is, well, that's not even an argument, saying he's old or whatever. And then you can hear some arguments and comments or whatever saying, who is he fought? And I've told you the same way like Usyk is having problems now because of risk reward, or Deontay Wilder have problems, you can say, who has he fought? That's the same thing that's happening right now. You know, who has he fought? But the bottom line is, because ain't nobody trying to step to him. That's why. That's why he hasn't fought nobody. After a certain period of time, nobody wants to step to you, and they can hide behind, well, I might have a title fight, or I'm a mandatory. I'm not taking that risk right now. That's what's basically happening. So let's keep your eye on that, guys. Let's keep your eye on that. Let's make sure that you keep your eye on who Oleksandr Usyk is going to fight next, and let's just make sure it don't be Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz. Doma Sports Talk. Worldwide. And I'm about here, y'all.